Bonjour, mon amis. Welcome to Canada. This is Tom with Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. And today we crossed the border into Canada. And we made a few miles. We started the day in Spokane, Washington. I spent the evening with a friend of mine from the military. I hadn't seen him in about 15 years. And opened his home and his heart to us. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Kyle. And thank you to your mom. The next morning, this morning I guess it was, woke up and he made us some coffee, got the bikes prepped, and then I met another friend of mine who was in the same area in Spokane, had coffee with him, discussed some stuff. It was pretty nice, and then we hit the road. I'm going to go ahead and put you on the map here, show you kind of what our route was. All right, so we had Spokane, Washington here, and then we went up north through Idaho. I believe they call this part the Panhandle of Idaho. And we crossed the border right here at Eastport. The Canadian border crossing was very easy. I'd heard some people say that they had gotten all their things taken out and looked through, but they only asked a few questions, and I was through the border in about 2 minutes. Shortly after that, we went up Highway 95, and this is all absolutely beautiful through here. All trees and rivers and lakes. Amazing. We stopped here in Cranbrook. Oh, excuse me, right there. Stopped in Cranbrook, got some fuel, got a little snack, picked up some bear spray. So the chance of a bear attack is very, very slim, but I think it's one of those things, having the bear spray is just going to make me feel better. It'll make everyone else who is looking out for me back home feel better knowing that I have it. So we picked up some bear spray. It was a very interesting experience. Canada takes like mace and that sort of thing. It's just like having a handgun. And Canada is very anti-handgun, from what I've heard. So we had to fill out a form, and the guy had to talk to us for a while, but we ended up getting our bear spray. So now we probably will not see any bears, which is a good thing. I'm happy I bought the bear spray. So from Cranbrook, let me see if I can get back on here. Let's see, follow it up. There's my finger, Cranbrook. So from there, we jumped on Highway 93, and that starts following up along the Canadian Rocky Mountains, which is the same Rocky Mountains we got in the U.S. They start up here in Canada. And we stopped for fuel right just past this here, Canal Flats, just right here, right where I got the circle. So when we stopped for gas, went inside, Ken went and got a candy bar. He was feeling a little bit off, so he's like, I just get a little bit of sugar. And I was talking to the lady running the convenience store. I was asking about, hey, I see this. We were see the signs for the hot springs. Which one do you recommend? So she talked to us about some hot springs. And then a gentleman pulled up on a BMW motorcycle at the gas station, and he said, oh, well, if you guys are going to the hot springs, he says the Fairmont hot springs are much nicer, and they're right down the road. He says, in fact, I'm heading that way right now. Why don't you guys come with me? All right. So we followed this guy, his name is Dan, and went to the hot springs. And the hot springs there at Fairmont are absolutely amazing. Really nice. They're not chlorinated, there's no sulfur. Very clean, very neat, and soaked in there for quite a while. Just felt great after a day on the bike. So then after that, Dan says, well, I'll tell you what, I've got a place just down by the Columbia Lake, which is where the Columbia River starts, which we camped on 2 days ago in Rufus, Oregon, if you remember my video from, I believe it was day 4. So the Columbia River starts right up here. He said, I have a house right on Lake Columbia where the Columbia River starts. You guys are more than welcome to come on over and put a tent in my yard. Not only did he invite us over for that, he made us some curry and poured me a bourbon. So here we are, day 1 in Canada, and we are experiencing the Canadian hospitality. You know, I was gonna make some jokes about Canada, pick on them a little bit, but I just absolutely cannot. The views have been amazing, If you haven't been to Canada and you're thinking about it, I highly recommend it. It is just gorgeous here. And yeah, the people have been very nice, and the exchange rate is okay. The prices are a little bit higher, so I guess once you're getting 124 Canadian yen for your American dollars, it just goes about the same distance. You don't get a whole lot more for your money, but the views are amazing. And from everything that Dan has told us, let me go back to the map here. If I can get back on it, here we go. All the way up through here is supposed to be absolutely beautiful. Banff, it's called Banff National Park. And then up here to Jasper. This is all supposed to be amazingly beautiful. So that's what we have to look forward to tomorrow. Tonight, I'm fighting off mosquitoes right now. I decided that I'm very tasty after soaking in the hot springs. But that's okay. We got a place to put our tent for the night. I'm gonna be camping right there. We have a fire pit right here. Not too shabby. And this was just sort of a random encounter that happened at the gas station. So those are the kind of things that sometimes happen when you're looking out for someone else, or someone else is looking out for you. And that's all part of the adventure. So as I like to say, get out there and find your own adventure, because it's out there waiting for you. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Go ahead and hit some comments, hit the like button if you want to. That's all good for me. I appreciate it. Take care, my friends. Adios.